Cardano just lit up the charts while the rest of the market was napping. And the crazy part, the data says this might only be the beginning. If you hold ADA, stick around, because what I just found out seriously caught me off guard. Picture this. I'm checking the crypto markets expecting another boring day. Bitcoin's flat, Ethereum's snoozing nothing exciting. Then I notice ADA Cardano suddenly surging around 4% in a single day, while everything else is yawning. I almost thought my price app glitched. Cardano is one of the day's strongest movers, out of nowhere. This wasn't some random blip, and I had to find out why. So I jump into the data. I even hop into our free Discord, link in description, totally free to join, to see if anyone else spotted this. And sure enough, a few eagle-eyed members are already talking about it. ADA's price wasn't just ticking up, it was breaking its downward trend line that's been holding it back for weeks. Think about that. Cardano quietly flipped from bearish to bullish in a market where most coins were just standing still. And I'm asking myself, why now? What's happening behind the scenes? It turns out smart money might be the culprit, and in a good way. I dug into some lesser known indicators, the kind of geeky metrics I love, and I promise I'll keep it simple. One big clue was something called the taker buy sell volume. In plain English, it measures how aggressive buyers are versus sellers in the market. And guess what? For the first time in ages, the buyers are finally outmuscling the sellers for ADA. In fact, for weeks, quiet accumulators have been absorbing the sell pressure. It's like this slow, steady rise in demand that most people didn't notice because the price hadn't moved much until now. Historically, when that kind of buy pressure builds up under the surface, Cardano doesn't just inch up, it often pops. And it's not just one metric, sentiment is shifting too. Believe it or not, both everyday traders and big institutional players are turning bullish on ADA at the same time, a rare thing to see. Usually, retail investors are optimistic when whales are dumping, or vice versa. But right now, even the so-called smart money hedge funds, high rollers, they're leaning bullish. One stat blew my mind. On Binance, nearly 70% of top trader accounts are now positioned long on ADA. These are people with serious skin in the game, and they're betting on upside. It's almost like they got a memo that the rest of us didn't. Now, before we go any further, I need to say something really important. This might shock you, but I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing in this video is financial advice. Cryptocurrencies are highly volatile, and you could lose all the money you invest. Always do your own research and consult a qualified professional. Your investments are entirely your responsibility, and you should know that nothing is ever guaranteed when it comes to investing. Neither I, this channel, nor YouTube are liable for any losses. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Alright, translation. Don't just listen to some guy on YouTube, even if that guy is me, without doing your homework. And on that note, if you're serious about understanding crypto, remember to always keep learning. Shameless plug. I actually run an online crypto school at cheekyschool.com, where we have courses on trading, portfolio management, risk management, basically all the stuff that can help you navigate these markets. If you're interested, there's a discount code YT50OFF for 50% off any course. Links in the description. Whether it's through my school or any other resource, make sure you're constantly educating yourself. Okay, back to ADA. What exactly changed for Cardano? Why are the big players suddenly interested? The answer, I suspect, lies in what Cardano has been quietly building while nobody was paying attention. Remember the big buzzwords earlier this year? AI, real-world assets, institutional DeFi. Other projects rode those hype waves like there was no tomorrow. You saw random coins skyrocket just because they mentioned AI or tokenized real estate in a press release. Meanwhile, Cardano has been the strong, silent type, actually doing the work with far less fanfare. Now it's like all those pieces are coming together. Let me give you a few examples. AI in DeFi Cardano developers have been experimenting with using AI to automate on-chain tasks. I'm talking about things like smart contracts that can fine-tune itself, or AI bots that execute trades or provide liquidity on Cardano's decentralized exchanges 24/7 without needing a coffee break. It's not just a concept. There was a demo where an AI agent managed to perform swaps and staking using ADA and a stablecoin automatically. Imagine DeFi protocols that run intelligently on autopilot. That's what Cardano is inching towards. It's a quiet revolution, no flashy headlines, just building. Then there's the whole real world asset RWA angle. Cardano's starting to bridge blockchain with real stuff. A while back, someone actually launched a token on Cardano that represents wheat. Yes, the grain. Sounds crazy, but it means investors could get exposure to a commodity like wheat via Cardano's network, and that's just one example. The Cardano Foundation has also been working on tokenizing things like reinsurance funds, basically big pools of insurance money with partners in traditional finance. These projects could bring serious usage to the ecosystem because they connect crypto with real world finance. And speaking of bridging to traditional finance, guess who else quietly took notice? Franklin Templeton, a huge asset management firm, added ADA to one of its crypto funds recently. It's a small position, but the message is loud. Cardano is on the radar of Wall Street now. ADA isn't just a retail darling or a speculative play. It's inching its way into institutional portfolios, one tiny step at a time. Now combine all that. AI-powered DeFi, real-world asset integration, institutional nods. Cardano is basically stepping into all the narratives that could define the next bull run, but it's doing it under the radar. No one's screaming about it on the news because it's incremental, technical progress, the kind that doesn't make headlines until suddenly it does. The biggest development, though, and this one had me genuinely excited, is something I'd call Cardano's 70 million ADA war chest. Let me explain. A coalition of the biggest players in Cardano. We're talking Input Output Global, Emergo, the Cardano Foundation, Intersect, even the new Midnight Sidechain team just came together and said, it's time to supercharge this ecosystem. They proposed, and it looks like it's getting approved, tapping 70 million ADA from Cardano's treasury for a massive expansion plan heading into 2026. That's over $30 million worth of ADA being deployed to build out Cardano's core infrastructure and dApps. Why is this a big deal? For one, Cardano's never done something of this scale before. It's the largest coordinated investment in the ecosystem's growth we've ever seen. They're calling it a critical integrations budget. In plain speak, it means they identified the key things Cardano is missing or could improve, and they're about to fund a flurry of development to get those things built. What key things, you ask? This budget is earmarked for 5 pillars. Top tier stablecoins, bringing high quality stablecoins onto Cardano. Imagine having a Cardano native equivalent of USDC or Tether that you can use across DeFi. Institutional custody and wallets, making it easier and safer for big institutions to hold and use ADA, because if you want banks or funds involved, you need bank-grade custody solutions and wallets, advanced on-chain analytics, better tools to monitor and analyze what's happening on Cardano, which helps investors, developers, and users make informed decisions. Cross-chain bridges connecting Cardano to other blockchains so liquidity and assets can flow in and out. Think linking Cardano with networks like Ethereum, Bitcoin, etc. to attract more users and capital, globally recognized price oracles, reliable data feeds for real-world info like asset prices, weather data, you name it, so that Cardano's smart contracts can interact with the real world securely. In short, that 70 million ADA war chest is going to plug a lot of gaps. It's like an upgrade package for the entire network. And if you know crypto history, big ecosystem investments often precede big growth spurts. Ethereum's DeFi explosion, for example, really took off after infrastructure like stablecoins and oracles, think USDC Chainlink, became available. Binance Smart Chain's rapid growth came after they funded tons of projects to build on it. So seeing Cardano mobilize a huge fund like this, it gets my bullish senses tingling. Yet, if you blinked, you'd have missed that news, because outside the Cardano community, hardly anyone is talking about it. The crowd at large doesn't see what's coming yet. The narrative on the street still seems to be, oh, Cardano, that's that slow project that hasn't delivered much, right? The price only just started moving. Most people aren't paying attention yet. Cardano's achievements are almost hiding in plain sight. And that scenario where the fundamentals are improving and the big money is positioning, but the public is still snoozing, is exactly where I see opportunity. It reminds me a bit of late 2020. A lot of folks had written Cardano off as dead money, and then 2021 rolled around and ADA went from mere pennies to over $3, shocking everyone. Now, I'm not saying we're guaranteed a repeat of that, but I am saying that sentiment can flip fast once the crowd wakes up, and by the time the headlines catch up to what's really happening, the easy gains may have already happened. Now, I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't talk about managing risk and staying safe, especially as things heat up, because yes, I'm optimistic about ADA right now, but I'm also a guy who's been around long enough to know I need to stay vigilant, plan for the worst, hope for the best. That's basically my crypto mantra. One thing I always do, I make sure I have accounts on multiple exchanges, all set up and verified before I need them. Why? Because when ADA or any coin starts running, exchanges can get overloaded or, heaven forbid, even freeze withdrawals. We've seen it happen. An exchange goes down or suspends trading right when you want to sell or buy, and you're stuck. I never want to be in that position. So I have a plan A, plan B, plan C when it comes to trading venues. I'm signed up on a bunch of exchanges: Binance, Coinbase, Bitget, Blowfin, you name it. So if one has issues, I can quickly switch to another. All my affiliate links for the top exchanges are conveniently on my website. The link is in the description. And yes, each of those is an affiliate link that supports the channel if you use it, so a double thank you to anyone who does. The bottom line, never put all your eggs in one exchange's basket, and always have a backup plan. Along those same lines, let's talk security for a second. With all this excitement around ADA, you might be tempted to leave your coins on an exchange to trade actively. But rule number one in crypto: not your keys, not your coins. If you have a stack of ADA or any crypto that you're holding for the long haul, seriously consider using a hardware wallet. I personally keep my hard-earned crypto on a ledger device for safekeeping. Just make sure you buy your hardware wallet directly from the manufacturer. Don't ever trust some third-party seller on eBay or Amazon, because there are fakes out there that can steal your assets. I've got a direct link to Ledger on my website. Yep, that one's an affiliate link too, which helps support the channel. If you're looking into getting a Ledger or another hardware wallet and want to support the channel, feel free to use that link. Either way, the key point is protect your crypto like you'd protect a pile of gold, under your bed. Now, assuming you've secured your ADA, why not make it work for you while you hold? Here's something a lot of newcomers to Cardano don't realize. You can stake your ADA and earn rewards without giving up control of your coins. It's one of the best passive income deals in crypto. Your ADA never leaves your wallet. It isn't locked up. You can move it anytime. And yet it generates yield for you every epoch. That's about every 5 days, just for being delegated to a stake pool. In fact, I run a Cardano stake pool myself, ticker symbol CHEEK, as part of the channel's community, delegating to our pool CHEEK or any good pool out there helps secure the network and earns you staking rewards, which is basically free ADA for holding ADA. If you're not staking your ADA, you're missing out. And if you are staking, but say using a big exchange's pooled staking, consider moving to a decentralized community pool. It helps the little guys like us and keeps Cardano more decentralized. Of course, I'd be thrilled if you choose our cheek pool because it really does support the channel and makes these videos possible. But whatever you do, don't leave that ADA just sitting idle waiting for the moon. Put it to work. And speaking of making crypto work for you, I want to share a quick side story. This one's not just about Cardano, but it's very much in the spirit of crypto innovation. Plus, it's something I've personally jumped into recently. Have you heard of Unity Nodes? It's a project that honestly caught my attention big time. Unity is like a joint venture between World Mobile, a project many Cardano enthusiasts know, and a group called Minutes Network. In a nutshell, they figured out how to turn ordinary smartphones into nodes that contribute to a decentralized global telecom network. Sounds wild, right? Basically, by running a Unity app on your iOS or Android phone, you allow it to perform tasks like measuring network performance and quality in the background, and you get paid in crypto for it. Imagine your phone earning you money while you sleep by helping test and improve mobile networks. That's what Unity nodes make possible. Now, I've talked about Unity in a few videos before, so some of you already know the drill. I'll share what I'm doing. I purchased a Unity node license. They initially sold these as NFTs representing licenses, but think of it just as a software license that lets you run the nodes. One license actually came with the ability to connect up to 200 phones as nodes. Am I using 200 phones? Nope, at least not yet. I'm starting small with a pilot run of 10 phones to see how it all works in practice. If it goes well and it's worth the effort, I'll scale up gradually. The cool thing is, I can choose to be rewarded in various cryptocurrencies for participating in Unity. I chose to get paid in a mix of BTC, ETH, ADA, and XRP. Might as well stack more of my favorite coins, right? So essentially, I've got a little fleet of phones quietly earning Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and XRP for me by contributing to this network. It's like mining or staking, but instead of using heavy computers or just locking up funds, I'm using mobile phones to help improve global telecom infrastructure. Now, I want to stress I'm not hyping Unity as some get rich quick scheme or telling everyone to jump in blindly. It's an experimental project and a pretty novel concept. As always, do your own research before considering anything like this. I've put a link in the description to Unity's light paper and their rewards calculator if you're curious to read more. It's really interesting stuff if you're into passive income or tech that blends the physical world with blockchain. For me, Unity nodes are another way I'm diversifying how I earn crypto on the side. I'll definitely update you all in future videos on how this Unity experiment pans out, whether it's a home run or a dud. You'll hear it from me. All right, let's zoom back out to the big picture. Cardano's recent breakout that roughly 4% jolt upward, and the break of the downtrend suddenly makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? To recap, We've got smart money quietly and now not so quietly accumulating ADA. On-chain and trading indicators flipping bullish. Cardano devs pushing into AI, real-world assets and other hot sectors. A massive 70 million ADA fund about to turbocharge development, and the general public largely oblivious to all of it so far. That is a potent combination. It's like all the stars are aligning for Cardano right now, even if the price hasn't fully caught up to the narrative yet. The fuse is lit. We could be in for an explosive run if momentum continues. Now, am I saying ADA will definitely skyrocket tomorrow or next week? No, let's be realistic. Nothing is guaranteed in crypto or life. We could absolutely see dips, shakeouts, the whole roller coaster ride. That said, I'll be honest, I have more conviction in Cardano now than I've had in a long time. For the first time in what feels like ages, the technicals, the fundamentals, and the sentiment are all improving together. That's a rare alignment in this space. In the very near term, I'm watching the charts to see if ADA can push through certain key levels, for instance, the mid 40 cent. If ADA can break above approximately 45 cent and actually hold there, that would be a huge confidence boost. It could open the door to that 50 and 60 cent range, which roughly corresponds to the middle of that long-term channel it's been stuck in. Beyond that, if the bulls really take charge, we might even start talking about retesting $1 and above as we head into 2025. I'm not going to throw out any wild moon boy targets like $5 or even $10 per ADA without real basis. Those big numbers could happen in a strong bull market if everything goes right, but that's a story for another day. What I'm focused on is the setup right in front of us, and right now that setup looks surprisingly strong for ADA. It's kind of poetic if you think about it. Cardano has often been dismissed as a ghost chain during the quiet times, and even die-hard ADA holders have felt the pain of stagnant prices. I've been there too. I mean, I run a stake pool and have been following Cardano for years. I've seen the hype cycles, the disappointments, the critics saying Cardano will never deliver. But times like this, when I see the network activity picking up, the community building, the metrics turning positive, it reminds me why I believed in this project in the first place. It's like Cardano's proving itself all over again, but this time with real data and growth, not just promises. Whether it takes weeks or months, I suspect the wider crypto world will catch on to what's happening with ADA sooner rather than later. And when they do, being early, which might be right now, is key. So ask yourself, are you prepared if Cardano's big move really kicks into high gear? I know I am. I've got multiple exchange accounts ready, hardware wallet at my side, my ADA bag safely staked, and even some crazy Unity phones mining away. Most importantly, I've got my eyes open to both the opportunities and the risks, and a plan for both scenarios. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Cardano's about to shock everyone? Or are we looking at another false start? Let me know your take in the comments. I'll be down there reading and replying to as many as I can. And hey, if you want me to break down the 3 biggest catalysts that I believe could blast ADA even higher in 2025, mention it in your comment. If enough of you are interested, I'll be happy to make that video next. If you found this story insightful or helpful, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you won't miss future updates. Trust me, you don't want to miss it if Cardano does what I think it might do in the coming months. As always, thank you so much for watching. Check out our Discord and say hi. Stay safe out there, stay curious, and until next time, keep on digging into the data. The truth in crypto is usually there if you know where to look. See you in the next one.